Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ty McDonald. I am the creator of The Last Command, which today I will be showing you the solo mode of this game and how it plays. Just a couple things I wanted to mention really quick. Please, I am not a content creator. I am obviously very passionate about my game, and I'm going to do my darndest not to ramble. But again, I'm not a content creator, so I fully expect this to be a little bit imperfect. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to focus mostly on the AI player. That's what I like to call the enemy ship in solo mode, which today will be the Imperator, the Sunder. I will be playing the Federation ship, the Heart of Valdespar. So just a couple things to note that I am going to go very quickly through my turns and try not to explain everything that I am doing. But I am going to really try to stop and slow down and explain what's different about the AI ship and how it operates. Okay. I'll start by just explaining a couple things that are different about how the AI player operates. The biggest change is just that the AI player doesn't have an open market like we have. Instead, in the solo mode of the game, you build them a market deck. And so basically, anytime the AI player spends credits from their ship, they will basically be drawing cards from this deck to their discard. Anytime they have an ability that lets them take a market card to somewhere, whether it's the top of their deck, their hand, or their discard, they would be drawing from this deck. Now, some of the rules I'm using for making their market deck are new. They're not in the most current rulebook that's online. It's just because of some adjustments that I've made that work a little bit better, but I'll be updating that soon. The other big change is that to sort of limit the amount of choices that you as the player have to make for the AI character, they do not have two decks in the solo version of the game. So we've taken the system cards and the crew deck, and you just put them into one deck where the AI player will randomly draw cards out of. It was just a little bit too many decisions that you personally had to make when they were still two, and this helps the game play a little bit faster. There is of course a hierarchy for how cards are played, and we'll cover that once we get to their turn. So I'll go ahead and begin play with my ship, just really quick. And again, I'm not going to explain everything. It's pretty self-explanatory for me. I'm playing the symmetrical version of the game, so I usually just start by sort of lining things up with engineers and engineering and so on. But I think I have already done what I can do. So I will buy some cards from the market. I definitely want the 0-point laser. I will take... One thing I will say is that I've seen a lot of people not really invest in crew in the beginning, and it is very helpful in this game to make sure you have crew on different parts of your ship. This guy's kind of expensive for a starting purchase, but I will go ahead and buy Lieutenant Commander Turner. And then, let's see, we've got two left. Big fan of these cards that benefit from any crew. Also, engineering tends to be a system that automatically sort of fills up with power. So it's almost as if it doesn't really have a power cost. So it's a good idea to get something like that. Alright, that'll do it for my turn. I would end by getting any system bonuses, which is just this one for having an engineer. And I will just go ahead and draw my remaining 3 cards. Now, one other small change for the AI is that you don't reveal their hand until the beginning of their turn. So we'll go ahead and do that now. We can see that they have the same kind of thing. So I should explain the hierarchy for how this works. Typically speaking, the AI will start by playing their system cards, and they will prioritize, unless you decide it's in their best interest, they'll prioritize playing the card with the highest power cost. So in this case, that would be the quick ship, which will get them credits. They then, of course, have the quantum reactor that has no power cost. Where does this power go? When playing a system card that grants power, the AI will prioritize the system with the least amount of power. So for them, that would be comms. And then that takes us to crew. So how does the AI play crew? The hierarchy for that is that they'll prioritize a system with no power. But you see we have power everywhere. So then they would play the crew member in a system that has a system card with an unpaired system bonus. So you see how there's a benefit on this quantum reactor for having an engineer, but we don't have an engineer there. So then we would go ahead and play Cadet Vector into the engineering system. The other big change I didn't discuss earlier is since the AI is at a little bit of a disadvantage in that they're not making a lot of intelligent choices unless you choose to do that for them, they do get both of the bonuses on their starting crew when they play them. So of course we can't do the repair, they're already at full health, but typically speaking they do get both bonuses on their starting crew members. And let's see, so he would take the power. That would mean we've played all our cards, so we would go ahead and go to the market phase. So how does that work? Well, again, we have the market deck for the AI. They're full on credits. Basically in this phase, the AI will just spend credits to purchase cards to their discard. And each purchase costs 3 credits. So with 10, of course, they could buy 3 cards. And you would just reveal them and put them in their discard. So it's at this point that you kind of get an idea what kind of game the AI is going to be playing. And it's pretty exciting to see like what they get. And since the cards are so intentional, it usually works really well when they play them, and it feels really intelligent for a system that is just sort of, them drawing cards and then, it being random. But so we see here they're going to be getting a decent amount of cards. This take a card from the market to their hand will just be the top card from this deck. And then, of course, they have a pretty good damage card to start with. So a very good opening there for the AI. That brings us to the bonus phase. This works just like it does for us, so they would get a little bit more power in engineering for having an engineer there. And then we would end their turn by drawing the standard amount of cards, which is 3. All right, and then that takes us to our turn. I will just pair up this comms expert with this card in comms. I will play the basic laser, so we do 1 damage. And then I think instead of taking the power, I'm going to go ahead and just put a malfunction in their discard using Cadet Kieto's second ability here. Oh, and you know what? Instead of taking the power on my comms expert, I will take the money. Alright, so we have 3 credits. I am going to use that to buy Lieutenant Janet. And then we would get our bonuses. Excuse me. So again, if you're new to the game, you always take the card draw last. So that's just going to give us a 4-card draw at the end of our turn instead of 3. Other than that, I am, of course, still getting power and engineering. I would deal a malfunction to the enemy ship because we have a tactician. And this has a bonus for a tactician. And then, of course, we would draw 4 cards. So typically, you can pick which deck you're drawing from. I am going to just state that I'm going to draw from both decks, so you can just go ahead and shuffle them both up. And again, I'm drawing 4. So let's just see what I draw. That's pretty good. Let's draw another system card. Ooh. Alright, so let's get some crew out, because we got the holodeck in the game. Nice. Okay, that will end our turn. We'll go ahead and go back over to the AI, reveal their cards. Again, they'll start with the system card. They've got the power, deal a damage to us. Then, of course, they will play their crew, just like before. Again, we still don't have any systems that have 0 power, so they're going to try to pair these cards up to benefit from system bonuses. So this is a pretty easy turn. Obviously, it's in their best interest to play Cadet Killian, who is a tactician and tactical. So they will get the power and deal a malfunction to us. And then they would play Cadet Melkesh into comms and get the power and the money. We would then enter their market phase, which is just them buying a card for 3 credits. And they would gain their bonuses. So they're going to get a 4-card draw at the end of their turn instead of 3. They will deal another malfunction to us. And they would gain power to engineering, which will just fill that system up. Alright, that'll do it for the AI's turn. Since they do only have 1 deck, when they go to draw from that deck and it's empty, you would just then make 1 deck out of both sets of cards. So all cards in play would go back and get shuffled together. And again, they are drawing 4, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That takes us over to our turn. I will play the basic laser. I will play the holodeck, which lets us draw 2 cards. I will take a crew card. Ooh, not exactly what I wanted. Yeah, draw 1 more. Oh boy. Okay. That's more comms people than I would have liked to have drawn then, but that is okay. Let's go ahead, and I still think it's worth playing Cadet Kieto here to benefit from that malfunction. I'll play my lieutenant here and get 1 more crew member in. Ah, perfect, yes. Alright, so we'll play Lieutenant Turner here. He lets me place a malfunction on top of the enemy ship's deck. And then for the rest of my crew, I'm going to take the credits on this guy. And we'll go ahead and just play my other comms person into tactical. Okay, good. So we have some money. I'll just make a couple purchases here. I think I'm going to spec for the charge laser, which usually just means you want to get some engineers or just cards that give you more power in play. It's actually more. It's a lot more crew than I usually purchase, but I think it's going to work out. Alright. That will bring us to the bonus phase. We're dealing a damage because we have a tactician here, and we're also gaining money. And we'll end our turn by drawing cards. So I'm going to switch over to system cards and just see what I can power. Alright, perfect. That'll work nice. Okay. Now we go back to the AI player. Excuse me. So it's at this point, since you revealed at the beginning of their turn that we'd start by resolving the malfunctions. This is just one of those malfunctions that's basically a bleed. So they take a damage, but they do get their card draw back. And this malfunction counts as a card draw, basically, and then just goes back to the malfunction deck. So this is what the AI player is stuck with for this turn. They've got some good stuff here, though. They could play Shuttle Bay, start with system cards, and this lets them take a market card to their hand. So again, they would just draw right off of the deck. And an excellent second card, the Scrizium Blade for comms. So they would, of course, play that. It is a system card. Spends most of the power there. But they do get to deal 2 malfunctions to us, which includes the one that just got sent back. You do have some control in the game now over what malfunctions your opponent is getting based on like what you repair or what you gets removed from your deck automatically. And so this is a good example of that, because now we are going to get this card. I haven't said yet how you know which discard they go in. It's just the one with the lowest amount of cards. If neither deck has one, it'll start by going into the system card deck. So if we would start by putting this one here, and then since they're tied, we just put one in the system, put the other one in the system deck. All right, and we have to discard a card. Now that's always your choice which card you discard. I think we're okay on power at the moment. We have a lot of crew. And I'm about to play the 0-point laser, which also gives us some power. So I'm going to go ahead and discard the nuclear reactor. And then we would finish out their turn. So they have 2 crew to play. You'll notice that we have no systems with 0 power. Also, there are no bonuses that they can gain by playing a crew member into a system. So then they would just prioritize being played into the system with the least amount of power. So we'll go ahead and play Lieutenant Commander Faith into comms, which would gain it 3 power. They can move a card from their discard to the top of their deck, which they don't have anything but this malfunction. And then they'd play Cadet Vector into Tactical because it now has the least amount of power. And gain a repair. Alright, we will draw. They have no market phase and no bonuses, so we just go ahead and draw their standard draw of 3 cards. And we'll go over to our turn. Now we got a pretty simple turn here, just a couple of cards. I will play the Trade Rocket to get some more money, which, okay, yeah, that was from a bonus, so we get some more money. I will play the 0-point laser and send some power to comms with that card. Deal 2 damage to our opponent. Alright, that brings us to our market phase. We have a decent amount of money. I think we're getting a decent amount of malfunctions from them. This card right here would allow us to send those malfunctions back at the enemy ship. So I think that's a good purchase. And I will also take Pirate Rex. Love that card. And then I think, oh, I was going to buy. Alright, let's go ahead and, actually this is a really good opportunity to do some damage and maybe get rid of some of my starting crew. Yeah, so let's go ahead and buy the armored mech. And then I will just sit on my 1 credit, no purchases I can make. Back to our bonuses, I do get some more money for having, whoops. A comms expert paired here with the holo deck. We also are continuing to damage our opponent a little bit. We will deal a malfunction to the enemy ship because of having a tactician with the 0-point laser, and we get a 4-card draw. So I am faced with it looks like I'm going to have to shuffle one, if not both, of my decks. Why don't we start by just shuffling the system cards and see what we get. So it's our first, second. Okay, so this counts as our card draw and goes back to the malfunction deck. So that's our second, third, and fourth draw. Should have drawn some crew. Alright. Over to the enemy. We'll reveal their cards. Alright, they will start by playing system cards, so they can play the Guardian Crystal, dealing 3 damage to our ship. They'll play the Quantum Reactor. The system with the lowest power is tactical, so that power would go right back. And then they are left with a Tactician. So this would be paired with the Scrizium Blade, since it benefits from a Tactician. So that is power and a malfunction. And then they do not have a market phase, so we would just go ahead and do bonuses. Again, the only one they can trigger is this new one here. You may move this card to the bottom of your system deck. Now, whenever it's like a you may, or you're making a decision for the AI player, you can always decide to do what's in their best interests. Otherwise, they just will always take these abilities. This is a beneficial one for them, since they'll be able to play that card again sooner. So we're going to go ahead and put that on the bottom of the deck for them. And then that will finish out their turn. We'll just draw their standard draw of 3. Over to us. We're going to have a really simple turn. I drew too many system cards. That is a risk you take. I was hoping I wouldn't draw the charge laser for one more turn, but, you know, egg in my face. They're in alignment. It happens. So I'm going to discard this for the money. You always get 2 credits when you discard a card. And then I will play the ZPL and send some more power to comms. Alright. Excuse me. That is our turn. We have a ton of money. I want to be able to spend this power that we have creeping up in engineering. I'm going to spec into some healing here with the repair bot. Actually, this is an out. You know what? I keep passing on the Guardian Crystal, though, and I really want to buy that. So we'll do that first. And then for our remaining 3 credits, let's branch out into comms a bit more. Ooh, I love this card. Okay. Alright, we have spent our money. Bonuses are we're still sending a malfunction to the enemy ship. And tactical. And we are still getting a 4-card draw here in comms. Now I need to pick at least a couple crew. Well, let's see what we get. 1 here. Let's see what our next tactical card's going to be. Oh, that is a malfunction. Holodeck. Okay, well, we can afford it. Let's draw another system card. Armored mech. Okay, that's most of our power in engineering. So if I draw another system card, I risk not being able to play it. Of course, we have a good bonus set going. Do I shuffle? Yes. I'm going to just take the safe route here. Alright. Great card to get. Okay. And that is our turn. Over to the enemy ship, we reveal. Pretty simple turn for them. Playing the quick ship. That gains them money. It is already paired, so they will use their crew to see if they can trigger any more bonuses first. So, of course, this comms expert would get played here in tactical. Whoops. Getting them some more money and that ability. And then last, this tactician, Cadet Killian, would get played into the system with the least amount of power, which is just comms right now. 2 power and dealing another malfunction to our ship. Alright, so they have some money, which means the AI player is about to bolster their deck a little bit. Good timing. It's almost out of cards. Let's see, they can afford 2 purchases at 3 credits. Ah, they also get a 0-point laser. Okay. And a engineer that can repair. Okay, we'll see how that goes. They will be getting a 4-card draw for their system bonuses, and also this bonus, you may move a card from your discard to the top of your deck. Now, when the AI is choosing to move or discard a card, I believe, let me double check, it is the card that's the highest credit cost, which is in play. Discard the A player would take the card of the highest credit cost to their play area. Yeah. So the highest credit cost card that they have is their Lieutenant Commander Flex. And this is an excellent play, obviously, because they're going to get early healing and a lot of power. Of course, they're kind of overflowing on power right now, but still that healing is going to benefit them a lot. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then, remember, they get a 4-card draw. So actually, they're going to, unless they draw a malfunction, they are not going to shuffle their deck yet. Interesting. Over to us. Let's see. I am going to do tiny trick here. Let's see. It's where we can play like our engineer here in tactical, get some power. I can then play the holodeck in engineering, which of course costs 4 power. We get the 2-card draw, but first I'm going to do this ability. You may move one of your in-play crew members to the system, so we'll just move Cadet Corps over to the holodeck, or to engineering. We'll draw our 2 cards, which I think we're going to draw 1 more crew member and risk drawing another system card. Okay. Good. Let's play... Excuse me. Oh. No, actually that works out, because I do want to scrap a starting crew member. Yeah. So I'll play the Armored Mech, which deals damage to our opponent. I will scrap Cadet Corps here. And play the rest of my cards. This would make the most sense. I'm just going to discard it, though, for some money. Alright. That brings us to our market phase. I wanted to get this card into our deck. And then just for bonuses, since we have a comms expert here, we can move this card to the bottom of our system deck. That seems like a good choice. And we will draw our standard draw. Oh, wait, we also deal a malfunction. Yeah. And we will draw our standard draw of 3 cards. So 1, 2, malfunction, 3. All right, over to our friend, the AI, our friendly enemy. All right, they do take a damage from a malfunction, which means they will be shuffling this deck to get that card draw. Damage. Another damage. Ooh. This is not looking good for them. But they have a lot of power banked up, and they drew a lot of system cards, and they're going to do a little bit of repair. So we'll see how it goes. There is obviously a decent amount of RNG still in the system with the AI, but in my experience, it does usually play out pretty interesting. So we'll start with their highest cost system card, the Scrizium Blade. Deal 2 malfunctions to us, which there is only 1 left. So we just apply the 1. We do have to discard a card. I would actually like to be able to repair. So I'm going to get rid of the nuclear reactor again, so I can repair some of these malfunctions. Then they will play their siege cannon. This is actually a good example of where you kind of have to make a choice for the AI player because they have 2 cards for the same system. I just recommend choosing in their best interest. This card has more system bonuses, so it does make sense if you want them to actually play a little bit better to go ahead and play the siege cannon first. And then we will play the 0-point laser over that. And then again, that power from system cards just goes to the system with the least amount of power, which would be comms. And then they have 1 crew member. There is both tactical is both the system with the least amount of power and has a bonus for having an engineer. So this would definitely get played in tactical, which also repairs the ship a little bit. We then do their standard draw of 3 cards. Now our turn is going to be very simple. We just have 2 system cards, and I don't believe we can trigger any bonuses. So I will power the basic laser. We'll do 1 damage. I will also play the Rotari. We do get a card draw. Yeah, let's just do it. I will play the Rotari salve. So we get to repair a malfunction, and when we do, it gets placed on top of the opponent's deck. So we'll just keep it simple and repair this one. We have no credits, and we have no system bonuses. So we will go ahead and draw our cards. I want to know what this is. Okay. Oh, that's right. It's Pirate Rex. Okay. 1, 2. You know what? I am not going to draw from the system card. Oh, yeah, because we don't even have enough power here yet. With this, we do. 3. Ooh, a 2 damage malfunction. This goes back to the pile. It's a one-time heavy hitter, but that will drop us down a little bit. I'm still going to draw 1 more crew. Okay. Kind of close. Honestly, they took a heavier hit than is typical. I have not yet lost to the AI. I would like to remind everybody I am the creator. So, you know, if I can't be at least moderately good at this game, I should probably just quit. But if they can keep themselves from drawing too many malfunctions, they might be able to make a comeback here. We'll reveal their cards. Nothing too spectacular as far as, you know, what they can do this turn. Make some money. They will up their card draw with the system bonus phase by playing this comms expert here. Some power, some more money. They'll deal a malfunction to us. And the system bonus phase. Oh, and right now. Okay, so they cap out tactical and send that one malfunction over to our ship. Alright. That is their turn. They will be purchasing cards. Looks like they can afford 3. A repair card, that would be really good for them. Heavy damage card. And a crew member that ups the damage of malfunctions. This would hit us hard. Yeah, we'll see if they get to that or not. They will do their no, first we would do the malfunction, but there isn't any more, except that's not true. Since you do abilities in any order, this is another example of us just playing to the AI's strengths, because what they can do is they can use their engineer to repair one of these malfunctions and then also send it to our ship with their tactician here. Alright. And they will be getting a draw of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Just deciding if I want to take advantage of this loop, because basically I can keep playing Pirate Rex and the AI player is really low. Honestly though, you don't really need to do that kind of thing in this game. I have a really good idea of what weapons and cards I have in here that are going to give me like card draw and stuff like that, so there isn't really a lot of risk of just continuing to play through the deck, except for malfunctions. So first let's give us some power here so that we can play that card. We will play Pirate Rex, so our enemy would take 2 damage. That leaves me with an engineer. Nowhere I can benefit from bonuses. Let's power up tactical a bit more. We can repair a malfunction, so let's just repair this one. And trigger market purchases. I do want the Corsair, always good. And then just for our bonuses here, I can of course put Pirate Rex back on the bottom of this deck. That pretty much would mean I would be able to get the AI on the next turn, so no reason not to. And we also could send a malfunction to our opponent. Alright, we will get our standard 3 draw. Let's see what our system card... Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, let's just draw out our crew. Perfect. Over to the AI. I apologize, I had to stop for just a second. I got a phone call, but I am back. We know this first one is a malfunction. No other malfunctions. Alright, so they take a damage. Not looking good. But this is a good card. We'll see what they draw. So we'll power up the shuttle bay. They could take a market card to their hand. Oh, excellent. Actually, this card is even better right now because they just sent a malfunction to their discard pile. So we'll see how this hits. This is a really good card for them to get at this point because they've been taking a lot of damage from malfunctions. So we'll power it up. For each malfunction in your discard pile, deal 1 damage. 1, 2, 3. I thought it might have been more. Still, not bad. And they do get 1 repair. Now, probably not going to be enough to save them from us. Actually, we know that it's not going to be, but we'll go ahead and play the rest of their cards. So they've got the Quantum Reactor. And then, of course, they have an Engineer. Once you get to the very end of the hierarchy, it does say that typically you should never play a crew member into a system that's full on power unless the system bonus is really worth it. We might as well go ahead and just play them in here, fill up the system, repair. Now, if we're really playing to the benefit of the AI, there is actually something we could do. It just occurred to me. Because I firmly believe in just playing the game to be difficult. So actually, you can always choose to just discard. Where do we send the power from this? To comms, right? Because we could always choose on the AI player's behalf to discard cards for money. So if we do that, and then don't spend that money during the market phase, which again is just a personal choice we would have to make, but what I like about it is we'll go ahead and draw their cards. So they will get a 4-draw, no malfunction. They can repair one malfunction and send it at us. Alright, fine. They will get their 4-draw. Again, this is a choice we're making in their best interest to leave the money here. Typically we would spend it. But the reason it works out really well is that that's a choice a human player might make because they know we have the Pirate Rex card. So first off, I can't quite power that yet. But I will play Lieutenant Turner here. Send some power to comms. And pretend that I had also played Lieutenant Davis and repaired a malfunction, and then Turner's ability lets us put that on top of their deck. So yeah, see, now we're going to play Pirate Rex. Great. Except that your opponent must pay you 3 credits or take 2 damage. Well, obviously it's in their best interest to pay the money. So they live to fight another day. Now I'm going to shuffle system cards first. Oh wait, I guess we got to do our bonuses, yeah. Which is just putting this card back on the bottom of our system deck. I'm actually going to let that go for now. Let's go ahead and shuffle up our system deck. Holodeck, okay. 1, 2, 3, alright. 4. That counts as our card draw. Alright. That will send it to the AI player. Oh, yeah. Well, we knew they had a lot of malfunctions coming. You see they've got 2 here for the one time. Take 2 damage malfunction, and then they also take a damage here. So that is enough damage to go ahead and take them out. But honestly, I thought that was a really good ending. They were probably always going to die from malfunctions. I knew they had a lot going. It's pretty common that the AI player does get a healing, some cards that do repair a little bit sooner in the game. They never quite got to shuffle this one in. But there's still an RNG element to like what they get and when, and since it's not choice driven, it is obviously a little bit harder for the AI opponent. But one thing I wanted to mention is that once you're familiar with the game, and especially the solo game, I fully recommend that people just sort of build their own deck for the enemy. So what I mean by that is you can still make it random, but like where the cards are and what they're going to draw when. But you can choose how many cards from each of the decks are going to be shuffled into the AI player's market. If you want, you can also pick specific cards so that they play a little bit differently. You can tweak that and make the ship as hard as you want. You could go really hard on weapons and power, or you could have them, taking a lot of cards from their discard or from their market deck, so that they play a little bit more cards per turn. The one I played today was random, but yeah, just to give you an idea how it works. And I do really just want to emphasize that, both with the normal game and the solo mode, you really can, tweak with it. There are so many, or there are so many different cards in the game. You can definitely, build your own starting deck if you want, and that's especially helpful, when playing by yourself against this opponent. So, anyways, I enjoyed showing it to you. I hope that you enjoyed it as well. Pretty close game. Most of my games usually end somewhere with me between 2 and 6 damage, so yeah, that's about right. Anyways, I again hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. It is like 106 degrees in my house, so I'm going to go cool down. All right, have a good day.